Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Mighty number 9, grabbing the Warm Jacket achievement. This is to beat Mighty number 2 stage without getting frozen. Now, the first half of the stage is going to be pretty safe. There's no frozen bits, so you can do your best to just speed through it. Although, as soon as you get frozen, you have to start the level over again. So, get used to doing this first part over and over. So, once you make it to the frozen bit, which is right after this checkpoint, you can start trying to avoid stuff that will freeze you. So, your first main obstacle are going to be the ice cubes. The way these work is if one falls on top of you, that is going to freeze you. So, whenever you're shooting them, make sure you stand far back and make sure you don't walk underneath them as they're falling. So it's easy to avoid as long as you keep your distance. First mini boss fight's pretty simple. There's no real freezing bits, so you can just get past this. It's a pretty simple boss fight. Just dodge the ricocheting ball and then shoot each of the paddles, and then make sure you Zell absorb them when they start glowing. Make it to the next room, and then you have these enemies who are going to be the geyser plugs. The way they work is once you aggro them, they're going to move out of the way, and then a geyser spawns up that is going to freeze. If you touch the geyser while it's going off, it will freeze you, and the geyser will also turn into ice cubes, which again, if you shoot them and then one lands on top of you, you are going to get frozen. So my best advice is to lure the plug enemies away and then wait till the geyser finishes freezing, and then you want to shoot it down from a distance. After you chop down a ice cube stack, it should stay frozen so you can walk past without any danger. So get to this part, remember to stay far back whenever you're shooting those ice cubes in case you slip into it and accidentally freeze yourself. The floor is slippery thanks to the ice, and all you do is just shoot things from a distance and make it to the second mini boss fight. This fight is going to play exactly like the first one, however the gimmick is Mighty number 2 is going to stand in the background and she will throw ice cubes at us, and your goal is to avoid them so you don't get frozen. She will throw them in two areas. If you pay attention to the background, you'll notice the two lines, and that is where she'll throw them. Basically the left and right 2/3 of the screen. So you just want to avoid that area. My best advice is to just stay in the middle and then only advance whenever it's time to Zell absorb one of the paddle dudes, and then just take one out at a time and then just work on the other side and just do your best to avoid the left and right thirds of the screen, and you should be able to take out that mini boss fight a-okay. Make it to the final room before the last boss fight, and make sure you just take out the ice cubes from a distance and then just use your dash to get across. Whatever you do, don't over dash because you are going to end up falling into the spikes. Once you get here, you just want to tuck down into the corner and then lure the geyser plug away, then jump on the ring and then jump up and then take out the blocks without sliding into them. Then just slide across and then climb up this ladder to make it to the final checkpoints before the boss room. So you want to make sure you quick equip Mighty number 1's weapon, so make sure you map that to the Y button so you can easily switch between it and the regular buster. Highly recommend that for the boss fight. Keep in mind that if you get frozen at any time during the boss fight, you have to start the run all over again, which means replaying the stage. So what you want to do when the fight starts is you want to hold the X button, which should charge up Mighty number 1's power, and you want to jump up as she's streaming up and then release to damage her. Then quickly sprint and hug the right wall. She should pop up her ice tower, but since you're hugging the wall, it won't be able to damage you. And then once the bar is charged up to at least one notch, you want to jump and then blow up, and then that should take out the tower of ice. As soon as that happens, what you want to do is you want to sprint away, and then she should land and then pop 3 projectiles down. To dodge them, you just want to stay about half the screen away and just watch out for her bouncing projectile. Then she should water stream back up, and then all you have to do is just jump and then catch her with another explosion. At about the 50% mark, she should start using her freeze spray. The first thing you want to do to dodge this is you want to immediately dash underneath it as soon as she starts using it. The reason for that is the first stage of it, she starts shooting straight. Then she's going to turn around once she hits the wall. With this, you need to time it. You need to start dashing whenever the spray is pointing up. If you time it correctly, you should be able to dash all the way across the stage without taking a hit. If this thing hits you, it will freeze you, and of course that means you have to start all over. So practice the timing on this a lot. Once she completes 2 laps of her freeze spray, she should pop the tower back up. Make sure you switch back to Mighty number 1's weapon, and then you want to charge it to 1 notch, jump up, and then blow up the ice tower while in one of the corners. Then you just want to switch back to the Mega Buster when she falls down, and you want to pop shots into her until she starts to spray again, and then you just want to keep up our dodging pattern, switching back to Mighty number 1's weapon whenever the ice tower pops up and hiding in the corner. Remember to do the Zell Absorb whenever it's available, so make sure you do it whenever she's not attacking so you don't take a hit, and you should be able to get this done. But the key to this is making sure you use the Mega Buster as soon as she hits the ground, because it will do more damage since you could fire it more quickly than using the Mighty Number 1's weapon. But once you manage to take her out without getting frozen, you should be on your way to the achievement. 15 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.